morning, good day. My name is Michael John. It is my purpose in life to help you become your best version, however that may be. So you ever asked yourself, your soul, what is it that I fear? Have you ever took inventory of all your fears in life and rationalized why you even have that fear? Because a lot of the fears that we have, we're not even aware that we have them, or we don't even know why they're there. We might not even have an experience that makes that fear make sense. But if you follow spirituality, then you know about past lives, reincarnation, the spiritual realm, and all those other beautiful things. And a lot of the times we carry over certain fears from past lives, and it's amazing. I want to get into a story, but I don't know if I'm going too fast. So, if you fear death, ask yourself, what is it that you fear about death? Because death is a part of life, and once you understand life and why you came here, then death doesn't seem that scary. And just accept the fact that if you're here to live a long life, you're going to experience at least 3 deaths in your life. So it's in your best interest to just familiarize yourself with death, what it is, what happens, and why it's nothing to fear. And how I did that was, and it happened, you know, I don't want to say naturally, but everything that I needed to know showed up. I didn't go looking for it. What first, you know, really got me questioning if I feared death, and I realized I really didn't fear death. What I feared was the fear of losing a loved one. But that showed up in my life. So just be conscious that what we fear and what we focus on will show up in our lives. So if you fear something, it's in your best interest to find out why you fear it and learn to let it go. But how I removed my fear of death was just listening to a whole bunch of near-death experiences and just listen to the similarities and the beauty within these stories. I just listened to another book yesterday. It was called Journey of the Soul, and that is a book that it shares this doctor's experience when he would take his clients under hypnosis, and this hypnosis would put them in a state of trance where they would access a part of their mind that was still connected to the spiritual realm, almost to our soul. And then we would get all the information from past lives and the experience of transferring over from the spiritual realm to the physical realm, or the physical realm to the spiritual realm. But if you do have a fear of death, I would highly encourage you to read this book, Journey of the Souls, or listen to it, and also look up a whole bunch of near-death experiences, because death's not nothing to fear. And once you realize why you come to this planet and the whole meaning of life, death doesn't seem that scary. I recently just had a death in the family. My sister passed away. God rest her soul. And, you know, it was sad, but it came just in time because I understood death. And I knew that it was a beautiful thing, and it was a part of the journey. It's a big part of the journey. It's one of the biggest parts of the journey. And if you could just, you know, open your mind and just see what it's going to tell you. And if this video found you, it's telling you that it's time to remove your fear of death, because it's nothing to fear. Nothing at all. Another video I encourage you to listen to, it's from a YouTube channel, We Are Creators, and it's a near-death experience. So just type in "We are creators," and then put in NDE, and it will come up. And it's a beautiful story of this guy who's going, he's going paragliding in one of those big old kites, and he smashes into a cliff. And next thing you know, he's standing outside his body, well, looking down at his body and confused. How is his body laying on the ground, but his awareness is above his body? Yeah, and he gets into this whole story about twin flames and how we are all connected and why we come here and how powerful we are. It's an amazing story, and it's an audio book. Well, it's an audio story, and the guy who tells the story is a great narrator, so it makes it very entertaining. You could just sit there and watch it peacefully. I've done it many times. I think I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. But I definitely encourage you to look that up. But death is nothing to be feared, and we're going to die one day. And ask yourself, when you're laying on that deathbed, if you do have that opportunity where, you know, your death isn't sudden, and you have the moment to reflect on the life that you lived, at this point, right now, let's just say you're my age, you're 30 years old, and you're laying on your deathbed. What is it that you think you would regret? What is it that you think you would regret? Now, there would be a lot of regret seeing anybody dying at the age of 30. You ain't getting to live much of a life. Matter of fact, you probably just overcame a majority of your difficult lessons. I know from the age of 5 all the way up into the age of like 27, I've learned so many lessons, you know, and now I just feel like I'm starting to actually live my life on my terms, on my expectations, doing what is in my heart. And I encourage you all to do the same, because if you don't, you're going to regret. You're going to regret. And there's some things that you came here to fulfill, and you're not going to be able to fulfill that if you're living up to everybody else's expectations. So you need to go within you and find out, what do you expect of yourself? What do you want to create? And what do you want to experience? Because in my experience, depending on how old you are, you'll be able to see a theme in your life. A theme might be a constant lesson, and that lesson is pretty much preparing you for your purpose on this planet. So if you could just slowly, or analyze your life up until this point and everything that you have learned along the way, what is the theme? What is the theme? I'll give you an example for me. So, my childhood wasn't that great. I was verbally and physically abused by my mom's boyfriends. I didn't get loved much by my mom. Never really hugged. And then I started making bad decisions, started doing drugs, and then started getting incarcerated, and, things along that nature. And then I slowly realized that, with me overcoming my shortcomings with addiction and thievery and dishonesty, my lesson is how to love and accept myself for who I am, and to know that just because I made some poor decisions in the past, that doesn't mean that's who I am. Who I am is what I've taken from them lessons and applied into my life today. And now that I'm applying them to my life, and my life has enhanced, has gotten better, I believe I was put on this planet to not only share my experience with others, but also help people through their healing journey. Because we all need healing. We all been through some traumatic ass shit, especially if you're watching this video and you're going through this awakening. Usually the people that are experiencing this awakening in the beginning have had some pretty tough lives. And we've learned some valuable lessons. So find out what your theme of your life is and what you think you came here to fulfill. You can leave a comment. I'm interested. But yeah, I have a feeling that, you know, I'm here to help others. You know, and I have this sudden flow when I communicate with others that I can connect to, and it just feels natural, and everything just flows. And I notice if I am searching and reaching for my words, then I'm not connected, and that I'm doing too much, and I just need to let go. When I force something out, I realize that I wasn't supposed to say it, and I might get a sly reply from that person, or a dirty look, or ignored, or whatever, to tell me that, you know, I'm out of place and it's not the time and it's not the place. But I know when I do attract a certain person in my life, and next thing you know, that stranger is sharing their whole life with me, and I don't know why. And I was like, well, how do you just walk up to a stranger and just talk about some deep ass shit that you're going through? But this is a constant theme in my life, and you might notice that as well. People just randomly come up to you and start talking to you about their life and the issues that they're facing right now. Just know that you are put on this planet to help these individuals by any way, whatever feels right to you. It will be in your heart. Just know that the divine flows through us. So if the universe had sent a specific individual to you for you to help, just know you're going to have all the right words to say when you need to say them. And I've experienced this. It just flows out. And some of the things that I say is things that I needed to hear as well, where I'm like, wow, I needed to hear that. And you would think, oh, because I'm saying it, this is how I'm living my life, and this is my knowledge. But some of the things that I say, I shock myself. And that's how I know that I'm connected to this divine field, and it is flowing through me. So that is part of my purpose. That's helped me overcome death, finding out my purpose, living up to my own expectations, and living my life as I see fit. No one else. I have no expectations towards anybody else, as they have no expectations towards me. And I think that's how we should live our lives, because when you hold expectations, you set yourself up for failure, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to live up to that expectation. It might actually far exceed that expectation, but let's just say that's a lesson that the universe is trying to teach you. Quit fucking holding expectations. Just know what it is that you want, and take the steps towards that without expecting how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or anything else. The only thing that you need to focus on is the what, not the where, not the when, or not the how. But I just wanted to share that with everybody, because I feel like in order to live your best life, you have to let go of the fear of death. You have to, you know? And just know that tomorrow could be your day. Today could be my day. I don't know. So since I don't know, I'm going to live my life to the best of my ability. I'm going to do my best to reach my fullest potential. And that's the goal in life, is to just grow. Keep on getting better. That is the whole meaning of life. When you read that book, Journey of the Souls, the main theme is coming down on this physical realm to learn these lessons, to experience this contrast of good, evil, happy, sad, dark, light. That's the main theme here, is to just grow as a soul. And then once we take our lessons from this physical realm and bring them to the spiritual realm, we go over them with our spirit guides, our overview. And our spirit guides assist us in analyzing, you know, where we went wrong, what we could have done better, how we reacted. Maybe we did good, maybe we did not so good. And they're going to let us know. They're not going to bullshit us. And you have these spirit guides with you right now. They actually communicate with you on a daily basis. But you just ignore the thought. You think it's just some inconsistent thought that makes no sense to you. But if you were to go within and just listen to your thoughts and just see the pattern, you'd see what they were trying to tell you. We are not alone on this life or on this plane. We have more support than you could possibly even imagine. You are so supported, it's scary. And the only thing that is preventing you from taking advantage of this support is the belief that you're not supported and that you're separate and you're alone and you're by yourself and you got to do it all on your own. But that could have been farther from the truth. So what is it that you're going to do today that is going to get you closer to your best life? Could be anything. And keep in mind, it's the small, consistent steps that get you the furthest. When you take those leap and bound steps, next thing you know, you're like, wow, I bit off more than I could chew, and then you fall back to your old ways. But when you slowly apply certain habits to your life and just slowly add in them habits, before you know it, you're going to reflect back on it and you're going to be like, wow, I've grown so much within this month. So with that being said, look up the book Journey of the Soul, check out that You Are Creator's NDE experience, and just know that you came here for a purpose. Death is part of it. It's the biggest part of it. And it's not a death, but it's a rebirth. So with that being said, live your best life, but more importantly, love yourself.